What's going on, fellas? I'm just here to make this video for you guys to get a fresh idea on how to rebuild a three-piece wheel. There are some parts that are sped up and there are some parts that are pretty slow. I'll do as best as I can to talk you guys through the process. Hope you guys enjoy the video. What's up, guys? Step one of this process is getting your wheel over to the local tire shop. First, you're going to throw some air back in the tire. You're going to locate where the seal is coming from, and then you're going to go from there. In this case, this seal happens to be leaking from the hardware. It sucks. It's a sucky situation, but we're going to take care of that today. Step one, tire shop is going to remove the valve stem. Right after that, they're going to break the bead on the tire, and then they're going to get that tire removed. Some tires come off easy, some don't. In this case, this was a Federal tire, 595, so it came off pretty simple. Once you do that, you're going to recognize and understand the type of hardware you have. In this case, this is M7 hardware, which is also 5/16. After that, before you remove any hardware, you're going to split that seal that's in the middle, down the middle, all the way around with a fresh razor blade. That's going to make sure that the inner lip and the outer lip can separate properly once the hardware is removed. The hardware in this case is a 13mm nut on the opposite side of the 5/16 M7. So you're going to remove all of those from the wheel. Some faces come out easy, some don't. So what you can do is you can tap them with the rubber mallet like this one here, and put something underneath it, put a towel or something that can stop the face from being damaged once it comes out between the lip. Then from there, check your seal, make sure it's broken all the way around. Use a razor blade if you have to just clean it up a little more, get that seal separated. Once that's done, the outer lip and the inner lip are going to separate from one another, and then you're going to clean up all of the excess silicone with a nice fresh razor blade all around the edges on both the outer lip and the inner lip. It's going to make sure that you guys have a beautiful seal later on to come. In this part of the clip, I used a flat disc sanding or grinding wheel to clean up the silicone very nicely on both the outer and inner lips. That just helped me out a lot with getting the silicone to adhere properly. You always want to make sure you get the proper adhesion. Right here, this is just an extra step to make sure that the silicone is beautiful, have a nice fresh seal. When you're done, you tape up the edges on both the outer and the inner, and that'll give you a really nice silicone seal. Get your silicone beaded all the way around the edges. Nothing too crazy, nothing real specific about how to do this process. You just want to make sure that your silicone is done smoothly and no hiccups or bubbles. You're going to drop the face with the lip onto the inner barrel. Few pieces of hardware to use as a guide always helps, and that's going to make just life a lot easier for you. Once that's done, press down tight and let the silicone that you sandwiched in between spread out very, very nicely. You're going to tighten up those few pieces of hardware, get them all in a star pattern, so it should be about 5 of them. Then after that, you're going to flip the wheel over once you tighten everything up, and then you're going to smoothen out the silicone. This process is not hard. It's not a time-consuming job. It's just something that you can do at home, and you don't have to pay someone to rebuild your three-piece wheels because it's not hard. It is something that you can do in your garage, in your bedroom, in your living room, and it's not a messy process. The sanding can get a little messy with the silicone, but even then, it's something that's very easy to clean up. For me, I used motorcycle chain conditioning rollers from Harbor Freight, so I have something to spin the wheel on so I can smoothen out my silicone very nicely. So what I use a silicone smoothing tool. Same thing you would use any application with silicone, window trims, bathtubs, things like that you can find at your local Home Depot or hardware store. It's pretty simple to use, and it's not hard to use at all, and it gives you a very pristine, very beautiful seal. So once everything is done, you check your seal, you sit back, you admire your work, and that's pretty much it. Tighten up all the hardware. M7 hardware tightens down to 22 foot-pounds of torque. Once you get everything tightened down in the star pattern, check your torque specs, check the wheel, make sure everything is done right, sit back and evaluate your work. This is my first time ever doing a tutorial like this. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave your comments down below and get back to me. Have a good one.